Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we're going to give you quite a lot of information. We've got the Dundee July, we've got Michelle Nerak, we've got Wesley Bowman talking about the TBA sales that are coming up, and we've got Lef.
Yeah, we've got the lot, and we've got the closure of Clarewood, which we'll be looking into it with Bonsky, and what segment is that? Last from the past. Yeah, so it's end of a chapter, but James, just before we forget, we send our condolences to Ivan Pickering's wife. Ivan came up for the final day to come and see what happened at Clarewood, a place that he's trained and ridden at for many years, and he spent a couple of days up here with Phil Georgia and Trevor Furry, and I believe his wife died over the weekend, which is very sad news, and our condolences to his family, Corin and his son Ivan, and everyone involved with Ivan Pickering. A wonderful man has lost his wife. Yeah,
very sad. Let's move straight into our three to follow. Right, well, the first of our three to follow, we're going to Scottsville, race 4. You had a very nice filly in here for the Lambert bunch, and it was nice to see her win, but Marcus very enterprising on this filly. And the second filly, C-Fan, very nice filly. She was...
She's a nicely bred filly. She's a jet master. She's from the national sales, and she cost over 300,000 Rand. She ran a very good race. It was only her second run of her life. She's going to win very soon. That's C-Fan.
Let's go and look at her.
C-Fan, they were drawn out 9. Our horse wins the race, Class Mondial, and Class Mondial gets rolling very quickly in the black cap. Bill Lambert's red and white stripes with the black cap. C-Fan is in the Knut Hogue silks, which is predominantly red, moving to about 4th or 5th here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're lobbing along in front. Marcus is dictating, and when Marcus gets to the front, he dictates extremely well. C-Fan's caught behind the Van Zyl runner, and it looked like a very competitive field, but Marcus dictated it absolutely perfectly, and your filly had the race completely won a long way out, but C-Fan picked it up going through the 300-meter mark and really ran on well, and I think this is quite a nice filly. She might be worth following, not only in her next start, but down the line.
Yeah, I agree with you. She really is a nice filly by that wonderful, wonderful stallion, Jet Master. Marcus has managed to dictate things here, and I think when he kicks for home, he gives her a smacking. I think that gets the break on the others, which I think wins her the race. But Sean Cormack is obviously aware that the danger is going to be the leader, and starts getting after his filly as Arthur scoots for home here.
Yeah, she's got a couple to pass still, C-Fan. She looks a bit green still, but yeah, she gets to sort of push along, and yours is gone. And obviously when you come off a time of 99 seconds, which is 1:39 for a mile, you know that they haven't gone particularly hard, and you'd expect the front horse, if she's got any ability to stay on. She stayed on extremely well. C-Fan ran a nice second, and we think it will win a good few races.
Yep.
Let's move on and have a look at the next one. Now, very seldom do we pick horses out on the Vaal Sand, but we're going to Thursday the 31st of July, and race 1 was a maiden plate. They had to go 1,450 on the Vaal Sand, and this absolutely doddled in. He had a sand pedigree. He was back like there was no tomorrow, and he won first time out in a common canter.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job, this young trainer, Johan Janssen. He's got this horse, the Big Easy, Gavin Arena gets it off to the front. It's in the Werner's colours, and right here it's alongside the leader. But this horse is by Big Brown. Big Brown was a horse who was a dirt horse who was going for the 3 legs, the Triple Crown, when he flopped in the last leg. But James, this horse has taken to the surface, and everyone thought first time out this horse might have to do a few things, but it was supported, and this is just a procession, James.
Yeah, you know, this is what you call putting a horse in the right place at the right time, everything right for the horse. The Big Brown, they sold a few of them in Australia. They didn't sell that well, but they obviously picked this one up and saw that they'd probably tried him on this Vaal surface, because he beat the second horse, Olympic Bold Brazilian, also a surface-suited horse, beat him absolutely motherless. And you'd think that the two of them will go on and win some races. The third horse never even got him close.
Yeah, the runner-up runs on well, James. The horse second in your TV folds like a deck chair any moment from now. And the Sheikh, I think it's Sheikh Khalifa's colours down the inside, runs second. But have a look at this winner. It's its first run of its life. It's on the surface, and this was a very, very impressive. Let down to win by about 6 or 7, just being punched out here by Gavlarina.
Well, when you see the fourth horse 22 lengths behind on any surface, doesn't matter. You know that it's given them a galloping lesson. This horse, the Big Easy, beautifully named after one of the most iconic golfers around, Ernie Els, the Big Easy. And hopefully this will go on and do a job for them. Looks like a very nice horse. We're then going to Kenilworth, 3rd of August, and watch a couple of nice juveniles being stepped up, but none seem nicer than the second horse in race 2. Maiden Plate, they went 1,200 meters. Joey Ramsden, Bernard Fade Herb, there was plenty of money for this horse, cold as ice, beautifully bred.
Yeah, this has been highlighted down on the outside. The better going on Saturday seemed to be invariably down the inside. And this horse is by Western Winter. He was quite a pricey young horse, but you have to pay for Western Winters. He's a fabulous stallion, he was. And this horse runs a very good race. Beaten by Double Whammy, Glenn Cotson and Greg Sheen beat it, but keep an eye on this horse, Cold as Ice, who's on the outside. You can see it. It looks like orange and a type of light lilac or blue.
Yeah, Kiesvetter's colours.
Yeah, the Kiesvetter and Finch, they race together. And there it is with the orange cap on the outside. It runs a sparkling debut, but well supported in the market.
Yeah, Double Whammy gets away. Greg Sheen, nice to see him back in the play. And this is lobbing along and gets away from this one. But as you say, I think the inside of this track was much better. It tends to be in the winter. It used to be right on the outside. It used to be the best going. But yeah. I like this filly. I think this filly will win some races. Yeah,
Double Whammy's got 3 clear over here. And then our friend Bernard Fader says, come on, let's get in there. It's a very good run by Cold as Ice. Trying all the way at the line. Only gets beaten 3/4 at the line. And you've got to be with us next time. Cold as Ice.
Yeah, the rest are not really in the picture. These two get away, and the winner had form. So it just shows you, first time out they come and run like that might be quite useful. I think that really worth sticking with these Western Winters. There's some very good ones around. We're going to go and have a look at Blast from the Past. Now, it's quite interesting, Blast from the Past this week, because we've had probably the best producer around, Andrew Bond, of a documentary, put together the final Clearwood closure video, and he's done it in 2 parts. So we're going to watch the first part, which has got some wonderful footage, and put it together absolutely brilliantly. And thanks to Andrew Bond for putting this together for us and for Gold Circle. Should be fun.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Charlie Berrien speaking to you. This is one of the days that I shall never forget in my life. As you can see, was the first start in the 8th race, and the favourite, which was ridden by Percy Ko, got left standing. And the race was run, and Ko was left behind. And I think this what really caused all the trouble. But we'll just watch the 8th race and continue later on. You can see the crowd were really on the course. They were really wild about the favourite getting left, and we had a hang of a job in Manchester going down to the start in the 9th race. They started throwing sticks and stones and palings and anything they could lay their hands on as we went down to the start. And you can see the crowd gradually increasing and getting onto the race course. It was really a frightening thing. This is the race, and I am on extreme right and on the rails with the balance chasing me. As you can see, I am clear, and everything seems to be fine until we approach about the 200 to 100 meters mark from home. Then the crowd started to come over the fence onto the course with palings and everything. And then we will notice in a minute how this crowd really affected the running of the 9th race. Fortunately for me, I was one of the lucky ones and managed to stay where I was drawn on the inside rails and escaped all the trouble. I did have to duck a few times, as you will notice. As we approach the crowd, there they start coming over onto the rails and onto the course. You can see they have palings in their hands and stones, and in they could get. And now they start throwing at the people. And we were lucky enough, I was lucky enough to escape them all. And when Basil Lewis fell through that, and look at the pails coming, look at it. You wouldn't believe it. My horse is jumping over the railings and managed to go on and win. And I tell you, this was one of the most frightening days of my life, I can tell you. I would hate to see it ever happen again today. Thank you.
Well, as you saw from the original 8th race where that horse got left standing, Kaya wasn't even in line, but the starter didn't declare a false start, the race was run. Well, the people objected strongly and they wanted the race rerun, but of course under Jockey Club rules they couldn't do that. They had to be a complete false start or that was it. And then they went stone mad. They refused point blank to let the last race run unless the 8th race was rerun, and the Turf Club said no, they couldn't do that. And I was the announcer at that time, and I had to make an announcement. Well, they came after me after the last race as well, because I said the race couldn't be rerun. But as Charlie told you, that was the most dramatic scenes you could ever wish to see, not wish to see, but see on a racecourse, because there were 3 horses brought down. One was actually killed, and it was really tragic. And I would hate, as Charlie said, ever to see something like that again on the South African racecourses.
Well, as you can see, the very last race ever run at Clarewood Park has taken place, won by who else but the former champion jockey Anton Marcus. He's been captain of the Proteas for the last few test matches, and it was fitting that Paul Lafferty, who recently won a Grade 1 race at Greyville Racecourse with Harry's son, was the winning trainer. Mary Liley, of course, who owned many great horses, including Bold Monarch, has been victorious, and Graham Hawkins put on a fantastic show with his entire team, who we'll see at the winners' enclosure. But we're going to take you on a musical montage ride of what happened here at Clarewood Park from the beginning of the day until the very last race was won, from the time that the apprentices arrived until they left the racecourse. Thanks for joining us. This is Andrew Bond reporting from Clarewood Park for the very last time ever.
I started riding work when I was 9. My first race when I was 12, over 1,700 meters. And I can remember my mother saying to my dad, he's still a little boy, he said, no, he's been riding work for nearly 4 years. He can ride. He must ride. Anyway, Clarewood, how can you replace Clarewood? You can't replace it. Personally, I think it's a big mistake they've made. What would you say? This is where you back the horses, and this is where we did back them. And the day I stopped riding, that's the day I stopped backing horses. And the old man said, if you ever start training, you back them here. Don't forget the golden rule. And that is the golden rule. And I've had horses since. I've had horses with Ron Phillips, Tony Riverland. I've got them with Garth when they reopened Clarewood. I've let those horses, I never took them away from those trainers. I let them finish off, and I gave Garth a couple of horses. And Garth will tell you, I don't back other people's horses. If he mentions something to me, I'll have 50 rand on it. That's it, you know. But I know the golden rule, this is the course you back them. And that's it.
Yeah, it's been 47 years that I started here. I went to Summerveld, came back. It is sad, it really is. As you know, you wouldn't work for me. You've started at the bottom, as you know yourself. So yeah, it is quite sad that a lovely place. It's history, you know. It's people that have been racing for over 60 years are here today. So yeah, I think it is, and I'm very grateful, honoured to have a winner on this day. Really am. People ask me, what do you think of the move? It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna, yeah, and I'm gonna, and I got maybe one of the best strings since Flight Alert, Carpetbagger, Major, Nobly. I got that same type of strings going on. I got some unraced 2-year-olds, some 2-year-olds that people have given me that haven't come in yet. And yeah, as you know, Vibration, Jetod Fire, some nice horses, you know. We're gonna make ourselves felt, you know, presence felt.
Yes.
Well, there we go. What an insert, and probably the highlight was Bonsky riding work for Dennis Bosch.
Fantastic scene, Bonsky, the lunatic, from the
What do you
helicopter
think he
to
was
a
going,
horse.
about
And
18 seconds a furlong?
yeah, it's just nice steady pace work with the other rider.
I know he would know. Anyway, fantastic work, and we'll see the second half next week. But let's go and have a look at our plum of the week.
Just out the 400 and Flying Loot just the leader, Sobana second. Princess Stephanie between them, then Princess Ariel. Bomi is towards the inside as they get to the 300. It's Flying Loot the leader, and Bomi tries to throw out the challenge. Flying Loot goes towards the inside. Bomi's now running on, but Flying Loot still in front from Bomi over the last 100, and Flying Loot's going to score in the 10th. Flying Loot has won it. Bomi second, Sorban third, and running on fourth was Snow Rose.
Well, there you go. If ever you've got to find a plum of the week, there's a lot of things around it that make it into a good bet. This was 5-2, 22-10, 5-2 on Interbet was a great price. And that you trained it, I know, and the people will say, well, we only put on your horses. But it deserved to be on for one reason. It looked like a blinder run second twice in his last 3 starts. But more importantly, if you look at the whole history, you've been here all your life. Your whole training life has been at Clarewood. Fitting that you win the last race at Clarewood. Anton Marcus, champion jockey, fitting that he won. But Mary Liley, she's been involved in KwaZulu-Natal racing from the beginning.
From the beginning, many, many years. You know,
and wonderful for her to go out as the last owner to lead in the winner.
She had a partner, Louis van Wyck's a partner, and also well done to him as well. And no, it was wonderful. I was hoping to win it, and very fortunate.
The second horse as well, Dennis Dreyer, he's been here his whole life as well. So it wasn't a very difficult quartet to catch. That had to be the plum for the week, and that was a fitting into Clarewood Racecourse racing there. Nice to see Mary Liley leading in the best bet of the week. We're going to go on and have a look at current affairs. We've got a few things there.
Get the best odds on horse racing and sporting events. For every bet requested, we review all the bookmakers and select the one with the best odds. As a result, you always get the best odds. Interbet offers tote betting, fixed odd multiples, and betting with your mobile phone. To get started, all you need to do is register by filling in your personal information. Log into your account and start wagering.
Well, there we go. Bloodstock South Africa's new slot on our show is going to be current affairs, which I think fits their profile very nicely. And as a result, we'll be chatting to Wesley Bowman straight off the Final Fling Stakes. But that was the first race of the new season. It should have been the last race of the last season, but it was fittingly won by the current South African champion trainer and Jetmaster, the South African champion sire of many years. So let's go and pick up the last 600 meters of the Final Fling Stakes.
Field must be a dozen lengths off them, and Petty Officer is the trailer. They midway round their turn. They have 800 metres left to go, and Dynasty's Pride has the lead. Irish May is racing up in second. Pan Am back at defence third. Jet Supreme just in behind these fourth. They being followed by Butterfly Girl. Racing in behind that, Schism is 4 lengths off the leader. Black Kitten races just in behind those. Then comes Nonky Poo. Behind that one, Internet Jet in the Club Blue as they spin into the straight now. Off that false rail with just over 400 metres left to go. Dynasty's Pride brought the field for home, but Jet Supreme is moving comfortably in the centre of the course. Pan Am is racing in behind that. Irish May races further back. Towards the outside, Schism is trying to kick on. Jet Supreme in the centre of the course, coming forward under the hands. In behind that one, Internet Jet in the Club Blue. Dynasty's Pride won't go away. She's coming back for more along the inside. Jet Supreme has now come under a ride. She's in front, and Acrostar is flying from the back of the field. Acrostar lunges late, is desperately close. Jet Supreme, Acrostar was flying up down the inside. Dynasty's Pride was back in third. Internet Jet.
Well, there you are. Triumph for the Snaiths. They ran first and second. Carl Nesius looked a bit unlucky not to win this one.
Yeah, he was weaving his way through. But a great ride to keep it going over the trip by Sean Cormack for the Divines. They bred this horse as well, so well done to them as well.
Dundee became the heart of the richest coal-producing area in the country. Nicknamed Colopolis, the town expanded rapidly, and the reconstructed town square and some of the shops vividly recalls these times. The first organized coal mining in South Africa was begun by the Dundee Coal Company on the slopes of Talana Hill. Today, the museum has 4 extensive coal exhibits depicting the main aspects of coal mining in this area and preserving the proud and unique heritage of our mining history. The procession was welcomed by the Mayor of Indumini, Mr. Mahe, and District Mayor, Mr. Mtetwa, as well as the MEC, whilst the horses paraded on the lawn in front of the City Hall. The procession consisted of the MEC for Sport and Recreation, Ms. N.M. Sibihla Sapati, as well as horses and jockeys that will be participating in the races at the showground the following day. The increasingly popular Dundee July starts on Friday, just after lunch, with a cavalcade of horses, traditional dances, drum majorettes, and cars starting from the Talana Museum on the road to Vryheid, 2 kilometers outside Dundee. The cavalcade was met at the Dundee City Hall, where it was welcomed by dignitaries of the Indumini municipality. Saturday dawned with a light breeze to cool things down. All the horses were checked by the officials of the Coastal Horse Care Unit. Representatives of the SPCA were also in attendance, as well as veterinary surgeons. The documentation of all horses was checked, and they were thoroughly inspected by the various officials before given the green light to race. The KZN Coastal Horse Care Unit presented trophies to the trainers and owners of the 2 best turned out horses on the day.
We'd like to award the first prize. The pony's name is Ngoma, which is the a beautiful Palomino pony, and this pony comes from Bergville. Well done to this pony, in perfect condition. He's got no wounds, he's got beautiful protection, and this is how we want, this is what we want the ponies to look like.
The large crowds cheered the horses and riders home in the first race, and the extravaganza of great horse racing on the day started. Gold Circle sponsored the main race of the day, and there was an air of excitement. The post-race presentations took place in front of the cheering crowd. On hand to present the trophies were the MEC for Sport and Recreation, 2 former premiers of KwaZulu-Natal, Sbu Ndebele, and Dr. Zweli Mkhize, as well as the chairman of Gold Circle, Robert Movies. Ndebele was instrumental in the launch of the Dundee July. seventh race on the day was sponsored by the KZN bookmakers, and the trophies were presented to the winning connections by Sean Coleman and Dave Laverick from the KZN Bookmakers Society. Dignitaries from various business organizations throughout KwaZulu-Natal attended the race day full of exciting horse racing, fashion and dance. The food stalls on the day produced great food for the huge crowd. There was also flea market stalls and shisanya. An integral part of the Dundee July is the fashion extravaganza, where models are able to strut their stuff and show the crowd the garments that are put together by their designers. There were also various dance routines on stage, and we are fortunate to have a Michael Jackson look-alike entertaining the crowds. As the sun set behind the mountains, it brought down the curtain on another very successful Dundee July.